Warning, this video contains team selection and captain choices which some viewers may find offensive.
Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. Before we look at my team selection for Game Week 8, let's as always go through how my team performed in Game Week 7. And if you enjoyed the video today, don't forget to help the channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed to FPL TV. I wasn't expecting much from Hennessy this game week away to Bournemouth, and he brought home a bog standard 2 points. He did have a chance to save a penalty late in the game, but unfortunately it wasn't to be on this occasion. It was a decent performance from defence this week, with Marcus Alonso the only one not to return me points. Matt Doherty was the pick of the week for me. He made his debut for my side and brought home 12 points in yet another attacking display from him. Interestingly, the fullback has now produced the most goal attempts of any defender over the last 4 game weeks. A real bargain at 4.5 million. It was another poor showing from midfield, with my punt on Tottenham's Son failing to pay off for a second consecutive game week. Admittedly, it's been a bit of a fail bringing him in so far, but his home game against Cardiff next is the perfect fixture to make amends. Eden Hazard continued his fine run of form though. The Belgian looks unstoppable at the moment, returning points in 6 of the opening 7 game weeks. With Southampton to play next, I'm sure he'll be a popular captain choice this week, with Aguero and Mo Salah facing each other. Up front, it was 2 returns out of 3 for me, with only Mitrovic blanking this game week. The consistent Aguero picked up a decent 16 points as my captain, which meant I've now avoided a captain blank every game week so far. The negative though is that he was once again subbed around the 60-minute mark for the 3rd week running, which is seriously hindering his chances of bigger scores and is certainly testing the patience of many FPL managers. Despite Wilfried Zaha getting an assist in his game, it was still quite a frustrating performance from him against Bournemouth, and he's definitely a player that's moving close to an exit from my squad, especially given the form of West Ham's Arnautovic, who's also available at the same price of 7 million. So in total, it was a score of 61 points for Game Week 7. A satisfactory score above the average, which has given me 487 points overall. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to give me a green arrow this week, just failing to break into that elusive top 10k by dropping around 800 places. My rank now stands at 11,326. So let's look ahead to Game Week 8 now, and take a look at my potential transfer plans before Friday's deadline. Now, there's a few players on my radar currently, with Sterling, Arnautovic and Kieran Trippier all impressing last weekend. However, I'm not really able to consider any of these options until I make one very big decision, and that's whether to make a move for Tottenham's Harry Kane this game week or not. It's a difficult decision because Kane's fixtures long term do look a bit unfavourable, but it's that tantalising home game against Cardiff next that definitely has me tempted. The good news is that I do have the luxury of 2 free transfers this game week, so I could bring in Kane hit free. But given that I may only want to own him for the 1 game week, it's a question of whether getting him short term is really necessary. My current way to get Kane, using my 2 free transfers, would be to leave myself without any Man City cover, by dropping Laporte and Aguero, hence the tough decision. I'd then bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold alongside Kane, a good value way into Liverpool's defence. Liverpool are set to face Huddersfield, Cardiff and Fulham all within the next 5 game weeks. So that's why I'm keen to keep Mohamed Salah for now, and also to bring in Alexander-Arnold as the double up for these nice fixtures. The idea would be to then potentially bring Aguero back for Game Week 9 when Man City face Burnley at home. Just to be clear, I haven't made any of these transfers yet, and I'm going to wait for the midweek Champions League games to be done first and be sure of no injuries. But if I am to make these moves, here's how my team could potentially line up for Game Week 8. And as always, you can find my final team selection and updates on the FPL TV Twitter page. I'll have no choice but to play Hennessy, of course, this week as my only playing goalkeeper. Crystal Palace have failed to win a game at home so far, so I'm not feeling confident of a clean sheet here against a very impressive Wolves. For this reason, I'll probably avoid the Palace defensive double-up and bench Wan-Bissaka, perhaps opting for Alexander-Arnold instead. I may also play Doherty, simply for his attacking ability, and Chelsea's Marcus Alonso goes without saying. My midfield 4 would once again remain unchanged, and I'll be hoping that Son can finally get off the mark for my side against Cardiff. Understandably, many managers have finally lost patience with Mo Salah, but I'll be holding on to him personally with some very nice fixtures coming up soon. Granted, he does play Man City in Game Week 8, but this fixture last season ended as a 4-3, so perhaps he can surprise me here. My front three would all boast home fixtures this game week, with Zaha, Mitrovic and potential new signing Harry Kane. If I am to make such an effort to get Kane this week, then there's no doubt he'll be handed the armband for game week 8. But if I choose not to bring him in, it's likely I'll give the captaincy to the informed Hazard instead. So that's my thinking as things stand, and how my team could potentially line up for game week 8. But let's see how the Champions League games play out first, and I'll be sure to notify of any changes over on the FPL TV Twitter. FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all in the next video.